This broadcast is brought to you by Ritter's Frozen Custard. Hey CG, I'm Sam.
And I'm Patrick.
And we have your weekly broadcast for Friday, May 8th, 2015.
First up today, Michael Lawson brings us a feature about the new CGpublications website.
The website came along when we were in Washington, D.C. in the National Journalism Convention, and we took a class on website first, online first, and that means that you put digital over print, and we were like, wow, this is a great idea. Why don't we have a website? Because, I mean, we're Center Grove, we're cooler than everyone else, duh. And when we did that, we decided there that we would build a website.
For me, it was more of having a news source of media other than the news magazine that was more faster, that we could do different things with like sports stories and reviews and just news, like general news. We don't have any actual news in the news mag. We just have student features and things like that. So I wanted to try something different, and I wanted to use a media form that would be actually applicable to students and people in the class, because print media is dying and people aren't really reading magazines or newspapers anymore. So I think that having a website is more beneficial to the students that are looking for news and people that are working on staff.
We have five people writing for us, but on White Day we have 10 or 12 people who write for us on a regular basis and bring in ideas for new spreads and shoot videos for us.
We don't necessarily have a staff, as per se, but rather we have people that will contribute to the website, because we can't have a dedicated staff because we have people that have to work on Newsmag or work on CGTV. But we try to team up with the other publications, especially CGTV. We try to promote ourselves, and that's where our staff comes from, really.
It's something that we're proud of, and we saw a need and we filled it, and we're really proud of what we did.
And for me, the big thing was getting out of print media and having that timeliness. We can do a lot more with the website than we could do with the news magazine, and the biggest thing for me was getting into that new media.
Thanks, Michael. Sometimes students feel the need to be the change. This third week's Miss Harden 10th period English 11th class decided to do just that. Ryan Stemley and Will Boston bring you the story.
Mrs. Harden's second period English class is raising money for acute lymphoblastic leukemia. I asked her how this came about.
Well, each 9 weeks, I always give all my classes an option to have a class goal or not. And they don't have to do a class goal, but we typically do. And usually in the past, it's been a goal related to vocabulary scores or 9 weeks end term grades, things like that. And this year, somebody suggested doing a charity type of goal. And so that kind of went crazy. And instead of focusing on our own grades in the class or our own things, students wanted to focus on the community.
Mitch Cruz is a junior in Harden's English class. I asked him how one could donate to the cause.
We've got multiple ways to donate to this awesome organization that we're doing. We've had a lot of opportunities at lunch to donate in our donation box. May 9th, we've got Guitarworks. We're doing a car wash, so come on down, enjoy that. We've already had a dine to donate at Texas Roadhouse. and we're organizing to have one at Chick-fil-A and at Ella's Yogurt, so come on down.
I also asked Mitch what organizations the class was donating to.
Down to Team Skylar organization, which is going towards a girl with acute lymphoblastic leukemia. She's only 4 years old, and a couple years ago she got diagnosed with it. So it's just going to her and her family to help pay for her medical bills and help her get better. And a student that actually goes to Center Grove got nominated for the Pennies for Patients, and we're splitting it up between the two charities, and we're going towards Pennies for Patients and Team Skylar.
The car wash is this Saturday, and it's 11 to 3 at Guitar Works on 135.
You can follow this movement on Twitter at r_u_all_in and on Instagram at r_u_all_in. Come out to the car wash tomorrow at Guitar Works from 11 to 3. T-shirts are now available for only $10. Just ask a current second period class member like Ryan Stimley or Mrs. Harden for an order form.
Thanks, guys. This year, science teacher Mr. Lamb received the honor of CGHS Teacher of the Year. Hannah Bumps bring you a recap of the event.
Mr. Lamb is our early college biology teacher and has just recently been awarded Teacher of the Year.
I have a real passion for science, and I really enjoy working with kids, so it's very meaningful and impactful to be able to help them experience a good science education, and hopefully they choose to pursue science as a career through medical field or biology or chemistry or any field like that. So I just enjoy working with kids in the lab and really helping them get the science experience. It's a lot of fun for them, and it's a lot of fun for me too.
My favorite thing about Mr. Lamb is how he makes science fun to learn and easy to learn, and he just makes everything funny. Joe Lamb!
Mr. Lamb has been working here at Center Grove ever since he got out of college.
I've been teaching at Center Grove High School for the last 5 years, and 3 of those last 5 years have been in the early college program. With my free time, I like to play golf, play soccer, play hockey, like to watch all those sports. I'm a big fan of that. Also into trivia competitions, so I do a lot of practicing trivia, answering questions, things like that. So those are just a few things I do in my free time.
I think he's funny. Joe Lamb.
The best thing about Mr. Lamb is that no matter what kind of day you're having, he can always brighten it. Joe Lamb!
Mr. Lamb loves teaching biology, but his main focus is on the students.
The students mean everything. That's the reason why I'm here. The students mean everything. It's just it's real impactful to do work with those students, and that's the reason why I'm here and I do what I do, is to help the students grow and learn. And when they learn, that makes me happy, and when I'm happy, I feel like I teach better. And so, like I said, it's just a real positive experience working with kids, and the kids make me feel, it makes me feel good. Again, I've said it 30 times already, but they're the reason why I do what I do. I'm partial to biochemistry. I just like to teach how the chemistry of biology, how the different molecules interact with each other, and how science really comes together there, because we're talking about chemistry and life, and putting them together on how the chemistry of life and how that works. So very, very fun to teach that. I like all the subjects of biology because it's about life. It's about learning about who you are and as a person, and hopefully by the time you leave my class, you understand a little bit more about who you are and what makes you function as a human being in this world.
My favorite thing about Mr. Lamb is that he's always in a good mood no matter how bad of a day he may be having. Joe Lamb!
Fail is a very strong word, but Mr. Lamb has his own opinion on it.
When I say fail, when kids fail in class, to me, fail stands for first attempt in learning. You may not get it the first time, but the goal is for you to understand it either the second or third time. And to me, that's what learning is. Nobody expects you to be perfect the first time. But when you grow and you develop and you learn, that's what learning is. Learning is taking something you don't know and then recognizing now that you've learned it and you understand it. And that's what learning is.
My favorite thing about Mr. Lamb is his killer sense of style. Joe Lamb.
I love how Mr. Lamb is just always helpful, and he's so kind, and he's like hard on himself, but like he seems like just a great teacher.
Mr. Lamb, Mr. Lamb will like always help you like with your question, or like even if you kind of have like a random off-topic question, he'll like incorporate it into the discussion and then bring it back to like what we're like the subject for the day. Joe Lamb.
Joe Lamb's the best. Joe Lamb.
This past week, CG hosted an interesting event called ACHE, To bring you a recap, Addie Johnson and Brooke Stone have a video for you.
Last Thursday, April 30th, SAD and Key Club hosted Ache to show what can happen when you make abusive choices.
I was given the chance to bloody up the victims in the car crash. I got to put makeup on them and bruise them, cut them up, give them blood. It was a lot of fun.
Well, I took part in a skit about abusive relationships. I acted with Maddie Roz. We did one part where I was the abuser, and then we flipped it where she was the abuser.
They're going to do their best. They're going to do their best, okay? Thumbs up, hands together.
To finish out today's broadcast, we have a video for Teacher Appreciation Week from students saying thank you to their favorite teachers.
Hey CG, it's Teacher Appreciation Week, and here at CGTV, we thought we would thank some of our favorite teachers by writing them thank you notes. May I have some thank you note writing music, please? Dear Mr. Scanlon, thank you for not only teaching science, but also looking the part. And looking like Mark Twain.
Dear Mr. Milligan, thank you for blowing out a ceiling tile during an experiment. I'll never fall asleep in your class again.
Thank you, Mr. Gaff, for being so tall that after looking at you in class, I have a sore neck.
Thank you, Mr. Hagedorn, for contradicting everything I ever learned in my life.
Dear Mr. Frank, thank you for reminding me what day the AP test is. Every day.
Dear Dad, thank you for not only failing me on that last test, but also grounding me afterwards.
Thank you, Mr. Fry, for proving you don't have to be a French pastry chef to have a cool mustache.
Thank you, Mr. Betts and Mr. Short, for being stunt doubles on 21 Jump Street.
Thank you, Mr. McAdams, for teaching us to stay fresh and teaching us all the new lingo. Ta-ta for now.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Dodson, for showing that even the smallest people can stand tall with a desk.
Thank you, Mr. McGuire, for practicing your pitching arm with your bobbleheads.
Thank you, Mr. Norman, for being the best dressed teacher in Central Indiana.
And that's all we have for you today, CG.
Have a great weekend.